Well, it looks like the trip is over. Let's get it out here. Not even sure what happened. My collarbone is broken. So I'm here at the Falcon Inn in Eagle, Alaska, which is a beautiful log cabin house that they run as a bed and breakfast. I was walking around the place and I saw this sign here on the floor that says high water mark, May 6, 2009. On this day, the floodwaters from the Yukon River rose to this level at this location. And I figured, well, we're on the second floor of this log cabin, so they must have gotten that sign off a post outside or something. But no, I was talking to the lady here, and she was saying that no, in fact, that sign is placed exactly where it was meant to be. The waters came here to the second floor on the cabin during that great flood of 2009. So on that day, apparently the Yukon River here, which was all iced over from a very, very hard and deep freeze over the winter. It got to 50 or 60 degrees below zero. And then on a really warm day in May, it warmed up to about 80 degrees. And all of the tributaries flowing into the Yukon River just gushed all this water in, and it broke up all the ice and pushed it downstream. And so the ice, sometimes the blocks were 15 feet thick, 50 feet wide, and 80 or 90 feet long, all got pushed up on the bank here and came and destroyed much of the town. So that was 15 years ago now, and they've rebuilt and recovered, but it caused a lot of people to kind of give up and move out of the town. So their population here, I was just talking to one of the store owners, and he said back then the school had 50 kids in it, kindergarten through 12. And now today there's only 7 kids remaining in the school because a lot of families just decided to move out from here. So, but they're still trying and they're still open and they're trying to recover. In the winter months, this town is completely isolated, and the residents do a run in the fall for supplies before it gets snowed in. And after that point, throughout the winter, small aircraft is the only way in or out of the town until the thaws come in the spring. So 65 miles coming in here on dirt road just to the next junction, but then to Chicken was another 20 or so miles of dirt, and so on down to the Alaska Highway, which is kind of paved off and on throughout that route. It's been a beautiful day so far here in Eagle. But I wasn't really paying attention to the southwest, and we've got some really dark storm clouds moving in. So I'm going to want to get back on the road really, really soon to get out of here and get to the border with Canada before this hits. And I'll probably be riding through it for a while. What I'm walking across now is the dirt airstrip. It's a bit uneven, but it's designed for bush planes to fly in and out. The supply plane uses a different airstrip just outside of town that's made of gravel, whereas, of course, this one is just grass. Perfect timing with the rain. Just started coming down. You all ready to go there, Boots? Sure you are. You've always got that big smile on your face. Brisa, you all set? Yeah, the forecast says it's going to blow over within an hour or two, so hopefully it's not too bad, but I got to make it to the border with Canada before 6 o'clock because that's when they shut down, and that's about 75-80 miles from here on dirt roads, so it's time to hit it. Okay, so what just happened here? Well, basically, I didn't hit anything on the road. I was going in a straight line, and all of a sudden, the rear of the bike started sliding to the side, and it started sliding sideways, and then it threw me down, and I did what's called a high side, which is where the bike hits, and I'm further down the road than the bike, as opposed to a low slide where you kind of fall in and you slide down the road with the bike. So I had my arms outstretched, and I hit the ground and I broke my clavicle right here. Why did this happen? I know it looks bad happening just a few days into this trip, and I asked myself the same question. But up to this point, I've been riding for 15 years. I had 65,000 miles, or about 100,000 kilometers of riding motorcycles under my belt. So I wasn't new to riding. Before leaving Eagle that morning, 2 different people in town had warned me about the spray that they put on the roads. It's calcium chloride, and they spray it on the roads to keep the dust down. The locals told me that they hated this stuff. It causes a lot of accidents from people skidding off the roads in their cars, because what it does is it makes the roads like super slippery. So after this accident that I had, I looked down to inspect what I had hit. It was about 1 centimeter or ½ an inch of super slick mud on top of a rock hard surface. It had just rained a few minutes before I got here. You can see in the video there's puddles on the road. So it had wetted everything, softened the top layer, and that's why the bike just slid sideways on me. So after the locals had warned me, I was super careful leaving Eagle. But after I was a few miles out of town, the road was really in good condition with normal, predictable dirt, and I stopped thinking about it. This accident happened almost 50 miles down the road from Eagle. It was like an hour and a half later, and it happened right in front of someone's house that lived there. So what we suspect is that the state had sprayed in front of their house with this chemical to keep the dust down, and that's why all of a sudden I had lost control right in front of their house. Nevertheless, I was really concerned that maybe I was pushing it too much, going too fast. Unfortunately, I did capture this accident on video, so let's watch it again in slow motion to see exactly what happened. Okay, let's pause the video right here. In this video, in 2 different spots, you can see the speed. Here's the bike speedometer, and here's the GPS speedometer. Both read the same, 23 miles an hour. I was really concerned after the accident, before having seen this video, that I was speeding or going too fast for conditions like 35, 40 miles an hour or more. But no, 23 miles an hour was it, and both of these speedometers agree. So the rear of the bike has already slid sideways, and now the wheels catch and they throw me down, arms outstretched like Superman. I land right here on my left shoulder, and that's where the clavicle got broken. Here you can see Brisa upside down. So if you remember, the bike threw me down to the right, and here she is about to hit on her left side. So Brisa has already flipped upside down by this freeze frame, and she's now about to finish her slide on the left side. I hit the road and slide. I roll over a couple times, and then I sit up completely discombobulated about what just happened. So fortunately, it did happen in front of someone's house, and I stumbled down to their front porch and I collapsed on it, and I sort of lied there for about 20 minutes. And something really, really strange happened to me. All of my vision went red. I couldn't see anything. It wasn't like grayed out, it was red. And occasionally like trees would come into view and then go out of view. I didn't know what was going on. I mean, I knew that I had broken the clavicle, but I thought maybe I had additional internal damage or something. Later on, I learned that it was the adrenaline that causes your blood vessels to dilate, including those in the retina. And if you have such a large dose of adrenaline, it can cause them to dilate so much that the brain can't compensate for all this redness. And that's where the term, literally the term seeing red comes from. So anyway, after lying on their porch for about 20 minutes, I got up, knocked on the door. At first they weren't sure who I was, but we got that straightened out. So I said, oh, you know, I had an accident right in front of your house. So they came out to help me pick up Reset and kind of figure out what we were going to do from there. Well, it looks like the trip is over. I skidded out here. Not even sure what happened. And fell, and my collarbone is broken. So we're gonna assess our options here. Figure out what to do.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened. I mean, it just started skidding.
Let me pull up next to you and let's take the bags off and put in this trailer.
Okay, I don't even know
Then we can get.
what, this mirror's broken. I don't know what happened.
It doesn't matter. It happened.
Yeah.
What happened is this road sucks. You can see the prints right here. Right here. Lost control there. Crash here. There it is.
Wait, oh, this is your right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're right in the way. Then.
Probably hit a pothole.
No, I think it just, you see this, it just started skidding out.
Yeah, I mean,
How does this attach?
yeah.
So you pull that out and then pull it. No, that's fine. Just pull it out. That's just the lock and latch.
Kickstand is on this side. Okay, hang on.
Okay, how shall I lift it?
Oh, God, this heavy beauty. Oh, man, that hurts. Okay. Come on
All
up.
right, you guys got it.
No, I don't have it.
All
Oh,
right, I got it.
my finger.
All right.
Kickstand.
Is that the gas leaking out?
It's right over
Yeah.
there. Kickstand.
Okay. Oh,
Oh, dear. Okay.
is that,
Oh, it's out.
it's going that way.
It's okay. I got this. You get that other backpack off.
That off.
Okay, you lost a little bit of windshield.
Yeah.
Okay.
So where this accident happened, like I said, it was 50 miles from Eagle, but it was at least about another 80 or 90 miles to the next hospital or town of any size on these same rough dirt roads. So the people that helped me had Starlink, and they were able to make a phone call to the sheriff, who said that within an hour or so, the National Park Service fire crew would be driving up that road. And we all decided the best option was for me to go back to Eagle, and the fire crew could take me there. From Eagle, every day there's a cargo flight in and out of Eagle to bring supplies to the town, even throughout the winter. In the winter, the road that this happened on gets snowed in, and there's no way in or out of the town except for this daily flight. So the plan was for me to take that flight out the next morning and get the medical care I would need. Here's the ride out. Back to Fairbanks from Eagle. And I'll be back after my collarbone heals up in hopefully a couple months. So I made it out of Eagle, I made it to the hospital. Here's the x-ray of the clavicle. You can see it's broken, obviously, and displaced. We decided that the best treatment was for me to go ahead and have the plate surgery that would align the bones properly rather than let them heal on their own. It will definitely heal on its own, but they can often be misaligned or produce a bump. And I also had a lot of other stuff planned in the summer. not the least of which was getting back to Brisa, who I had left at the house of these people. So within about 2 months, I should be okay to ride the bike again if I had the surgery. Here's the x-ray. After the surgery was done, you can see the bones are aligned. There's a new plate there with a bunch of screws. And the only thing to do from here was to wait about another 6 weeks or so until I'd be strong enough to fly back to Eagle and get a hitcher ride back down to their house 50 miles down the road and resume the trip from there. Almost 2 months later, I am back at the bike. I brought some spare parts with me to replace the stuff that had broken, like the windshield and some side plastics. But it has all been replaced. We are ready to go. Botas is ready. It's been at these wonderful people's house. Brisa has been kept safe and sound for the whole time I've been gone. And now I'm going to head to the Canadian border and on to Dawson and spend the night there, just like I had planned to do when I was here almost 2 months ago. So wish me luck. All right, I made it over top of the World Highway, made it into Canada, which was super easy. Just looked at my passport, scanned it, and said, you're good. And the bike's working great. My arm feels fine, no issues at all. And now we're coming into Dawson City. A little fake storefront there. Okay, back to the map. So I had spent the night in Eagle and I was riding out, and right here where this stream called 40 Mile crosses the road, it's just under 50 miles from Eagle, and that's where the accident happened. And that's where Brisa was kept for about 2 months while I flew out and healed up after the surgery. So the fire crew took me back to Eagle, which is about 2 hours. And from Eagle, I took a cargo flight to Fairbanks and then down to the lower 48. To go up by road, I think around here might be where the first clinic is. So that was just way, way too far. After returning after 2 months, I took the daily cargo flight back from Fairbanks out here to Eagle and hitched a ride back out to the river here where Brisa was, got back on here, and then rode across top of the world highway here to Dawson City. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to follow the rest of the journey down to Argentina. At least you'll be able to find it again. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.